Yeah, it's your boy Danny J. Quick, and I'm here with Kyron Silva. And we want to thank you for joining the Four Tales podcast.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're about to talk some comics and get a little bit controversial. Everything from indie books to movie to level commercial. With no rehearsals when we converse to coerce you. And then we do the quick takes and try to get to the person. So join us and get your comic book a few more sales once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales. Once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales.
I hate this already. Now I'm going to have to go back and redo that entire video in portrait.
Yeah. Didn't think about that.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Towards Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions, respectfully brings to you the 162nd episode of the Four Tales podcast. I am your lowly host, Kyron Silva from Towards Comics. He's not across the way anymore. He's right above me. Is a violent visionary behind Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick, and together we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. Apparently, we are live on the Age of the Geekdom Network via their Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, but we're also live on TikTok via Danny, my TikTok now.
That's right.
If you're listening and watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews, interactions help us reach a bigger audience. And as some of you guys see, our setup is completely different. Danny said most of our audience watches on their phone. Why not just keep it to where they can just hold their phone like normal, sane human beings? And I said, I don't like that because it makes me look fat. But, you know, you're the star, so we'll just keep it like this.
I am not the star, sir. This has been established since day one that this is your show. This is your show. I only make suggestions. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And, you know, we roll with the punches. So This is your show. I'm just here to fill in the dead space. That's all I do.
Okay. Noah Rodriguez said, what's up? Just followed you. I highly doubt that. I feel like you're a bot, Noah. So you can go whatever. HWP, though, is in the building. What's going on? Jetty Boy 22, you are fat. See, I told you. I knew it. I'm fat.
I had already said that before the show. My face is fat because I just am fat. It just happens like that. But it's the thing, man. It's all good.
All right. And apparently we got like 41 people watching.
Oh, wow.
Wow. What is going on? All right. Well, this is what we're going to do. Because I put out a feeler on Facebook. Yep. I put out a notification saying, wow, congratulations to Danny. We're super proud of you. And everybody's like, what did Danny do? What happened?
That's not what you said. That's not what you said. You said, congratulations, Danny. I'm not jealous at all, is what you said.
Okay. Tomato. Anyways. I said, Danny J. Quick, wow, just wow, congrats. I'm not jealous at all. That is exactly what I said. And people want to know what it is we're talking about. So I'm going to share this. And we're all going to watch it. And so we can all find out what exactly is going on in Danny's amazing life as usual. All right, let's maximize that. Oh, this is going to be lovely, isn't it? Bro.
Messed up the whole flow. You could have just said no, Kyron. It's fine.
Nope, you know what? We'll be able to hear it.
Yeah.
If I unmute it.
Time, no see. You know? No see? Yo, no say? I want to talk to you about something real. I want to talk to you about something cool. I think some of us might be a bit exhausted at the state of our superhero adaptations lately. There's been high highs. There's been low lows. It's fine. It's the state of what things are right now. But if you're just looking for something new, I would love to introduce you to Ace Blade. I I'm so glad I didn't cover any of his face or the title. Ace Blade, the Vegas Vigilante. The titular character of the comic sprawled across my desk, created by the brilliant Danny J. Quick and Christopher Hollers. Now, I've teamed up with Danny, and we're gonna bring Ace Blade to life. Danny and I are going to be making a live-action short film, Ace Blade Immortal. But this is where you can come in. We are going to be crowdfunding this on Kickstarter. So if you want to support something new, something original, something long overdue, please navigate your way to the link in my bio. If you want to see this project come out and you can't donate anything, or you want to donate to, saving people in another country, feel free to do that. This is just something we want to get off the floor, and we want to get the ball rolling, and I wanted to make this announcement. You haven't seen my beautiful face in a long time. That's a little conceited. I'm not going to say that again. Ace Blade.
All right, so let's talk about this. If you don't know who that is the amazing Julian Bass.
Hello, everybody. I'm Julian Bass.
Try to stop that.
He said it. He's Julian Bass.
Yeah, with almost 2 million followers on TikTok alone. Just TikTok alone, he has almost 2 million followers. He is a visual effects creator. I don't know how you describe him.
Storyteller. He's a writer. He does. His background is in visual effects though. He's done some amazing work.
So Ace Blade the Immortal, right? Or is it just Ace Blade Immortal?
Immortal, yes.
Okay, so it's not it's no longer the Facebook, it's just Facebook.
Yeah, just Facebook, just okay. Immortal. Yeah, man. Thank you. First of all, Kyron, man, I think it's pretty cool, But yeah, Julian and his representation reached out to me a couple months ago, actually, about the possibility of doing some work together. They asked if I had any ideas for something that would be live action. And of course, I've been writing short films for as long as I've been writing anything. If any of you know, I've done a couple of short films. We did My Big Little Sister with my family here, which was one of my favorite things. I used to do some things for my church, in the media ministry and that kind of thing. But yeah, man, I'm excited. We're planning on putting together a short film called Ace Blade Immortal, and I think it'll be able to introduce a new audience to Ace Blade, and I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
I'm excited for you. Now I need to ask you, because we talked about this. Dan Bethel, Comcar said that's cool as hell. Congrats. HW Pete says congratulations. Everybody's saying congratulations.
I appreciate it.
We want to know a couple questions. One, when is it expected to come out? And two, how do we get to be in the movie?
I cannot answer. I can answer both of those questions actually.
Okay.
I will say that we're shooting to release it early next year, first quarter of next year. We're going to be doing a Kickstarter towards the end of the year this year. It's going to be actually the Kickstarters for the omnibus Ace Blade 1 through 10. Once we get issue 9 delivered, we're going to start really ramping up to do the Kickstarter for 10 and the omnibus, and everything that the main stretch goal for the book is going to be the short film. We're going to use most of the funding for printing and stuff like that, but we're going to try to get as much of the film made as we can with the funds from that. So yeah, and if you want to be in the film, I'm just going to say that there is a scene specifically designed in the film, in the script, for people to be a part of. And I think it would be cool if people would come out and cameo along with me, because I'm going to cameo. Me and this young man right here, my son, are going to cameo in this short film.
Okay, wait, but you didn't say where we'll have to go, because you gave me two options earlier. One is a definite for me.
We're either gonna be shooting. Most likely, we're going to be either shooting in San Francisco or Atlanta.
No, it wasn't San Francisco. It was where?
Oakland.
We talked about Oakland. Thank you, Oakland.
Oakland. This is the same place.
It is. It is not the same place.
My bad. No, my bad. No, it's not. I've actually been to San Francisco and Oakland. It's definitely not the same place. But yeah, Oakland or Atlanta,
Okay.
just depending on how the budget works out. So
All right.
um, yeah, but we'll be announcing things closer to that time. So yeah.
Cool. All right. So everybody come out to Oakland at some point in the near future. Danny's gonna be there. I'll be there. If he's just an hour or two away from me, I'm gonna pull up and just be on set every day.
Well, you got
Uh,
the frequent flyer miles now since you came to HeroesCon. If you just come
but
back across the country and
I no, I am not going to Atlanta. Well, I might go to Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta. I might go.
it's
I might
nice.
go.
It's a nice place.
Is it?
But
All right.
that's not what we're here to talk about, man. We got an
Oh,
amazing guest.
okay.
Got an amazing guest here, man. Go ahead, Kyron, and introduce our amazing guest.
No, don't do that to me. That is not what I do on this show.
It literally is, though. It literally is, though.
No.
We got amazing artists here. I think we've had his partner on the show and
did.
his partner in crime on the show before, talking about their amazing comic books. I just read How to Hunt a Hero earlier today, the number 0, and it is fantastic. The art is great, the lettering is great, the story is great, and what they were able to do in 12 pages, I think it was amazing. So, Roy Gonzales, man, thank you for joining the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and thanks for the feedback. That's great. That really means a lot because we work really hard on that, and it's good to hear that that people are enjoying it. So thank you.
Okay. So, Roy, for anybody that isn't aware with your work and who you are, can you give us just a short introduction to yourself?
Sure. I am from South Texas, a teeny tiny town, graduating class of like 96, maybe less people, and went to college in A&M, and then eventually, where I met Joe, my partner in crime for the book, about 20 something years ago, and we just hit it off. He and I just clicked, and what was it? Probably right before 9/11 happened, the day before, we were actually working on this book, on this idea, and we have actually just been working on it ever since. I'm classically trained. I went to college for fine art, but a lot of the stuff I learned honestly just from reading comic books, picking up books and just seeing what was in there, and just drawing from my a lot of my heroes, if you will, from like Jim Lee and Joe Mad and all those guys, all the Image books when it was all extreme. But yeah, I've been doing that ever since like junior high, and then we just like I said, skipped 20 years ahead to college. We meet, we say, hey, let's do a comic book. We have an idea, and then 25 years later, I think it is now, we actually put something out around the pandemic. Like we were like, hey, there's nothing else to do right now, anyways. Why don't we go ahead and put this book out? And that's what those 12 pages you saw were. We just worked on it. We said, let's just do it. We've got something. Let's put something out and see how it goes. And I'm happy to say it did well and is received well so far. And now we are here at this point where we're launching our number 1. So you'll get the actual 24 pages, I believe, book, 28 pages on that.
No, it's great, man. It's great. I know just in doing some research for the show, man. You'll find out later. I went through your social media, man. I went through your social medias, and I can see you're a big fan of comic book superhero stories. I see that.
Wait, that is very creepy the way you say it like that. I just went through your social media.
It's intentional because
I'm
I
just
found
saying.
some stuff. I found some stuff, man, and we're gonna talk about it. But I see that huge Galactus behind you, and I also know that you're a fan of Superman. So I'm not gonna ask you about a review right now, but I just want to know, which one were you more excited for this summer, the Superman movie or Galactus?
Well, Superman to me he's my favorite. I know a lot of people say he's corny, he's old fashioned, whatever, but I mean, he's like the blanket on my chair. He's everywhere. I have just been a huge fan since Christopher Reeve, Superman, and so I'd be lying if I say it wasn't Superman. It was definitely watching Superman. But there are a lot of good movies coming out, and Fantastic Four looks amazing, and Galactus, yeah, that's going to be really, really cool to see that finally on screen.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Which Superman movie would you consider the worst?
No negative stuff here.
I just want to know, because there's a a school of thought that Man of Steel is the worst, and then there's a school of thought that I think Superman 3 is the worst.
I
So
mean, they all offer something to the lore. To the, I mean, that there are things you can take, give and take. I mean, sure, Superman 3 was not the best, but you did get that really cool scene with him where he turned dark, and that whole scene was awesome. You
Like
had Richard
drinking and
Pryor.
everything.
Yeah, you got Richard Pryor in it. I'm like, what's not to love about that? So I actually do like Man of Steel better than Part 3 just because it is more modern and what they could do. Like they had the technology to do more things.
Yeah.
So in that respect, I would say Man of Steel over Superman 3, but those two are probably, well, I would say Superman 3 is probably well, no, I take it back. Superman 4. Superman 4 is probably the worst of the films.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, you have to understand, I hold Superman way up here. So I mean, that's like saying it's the best movie. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. Go ahead.
What's up, Daryl Murphy is in the comments. Dan Bethel. Some we were talking about the movie said I can do a cameo, which I will be doing that. Roy,
If you come at Club Bat, you're getting thrown off the set. I'm just gonna let you know. It's not happening.
So Roy, since this is now my show.
Yeah. All right. See ya.
Let's talk about how to hunt a hero. For anybody, you guys have a Kickstarter going right now for it. It is funded, so congratulations to that.
Thank you.
What can people expect with this campaign that maybe you might want to divulge to us? Secrets, things like that.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest. This is technically my first campaign. However, it's not our first campaign. We've actually worked on other books. One of the books was Teen Strike. It's a book that was based on us growing up in South Texas, but in a superhero capacity. Like, what if we all had superpowers? We were all friends, and we did that, and that one did really well. That was me, Joe, and our friend Jesse who did that one. Then we had Malia Mayhem. Joe I did believe he talked about that last time he was here. That was him and his wife. But I got to see that whole process and how that worked, and then that really gave me the courage to do this. I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of worried. Like, what if it doesn't fun? What if what if nobody likes it? You'll have all those doubts. But this is my first one, and we wanted to make it something fun, something that we were proud of, something that we poured our hearts into, our passion into, and hopefully people would get it, understand what we were doing. Pour some of what I love about the things I like, monsters like cryptids and stuff like that. Joe loves story and the whole idea of like a world's first superhero type thing, and so we poured that into this book. The great thing about this one is, as far as the Kickstarter goes, is we did some really cool guests, cover artists, to do some work for us, just from meeting and networking and just talking to other creators in the convention circuit. Just talking to them. We got Terry Parr to do one of our covers. He's this artist. He did Cherry Pie. Really cool book. And then we also got Eddie Nunez. So if you know Master of the Universe on Netflix, that's what he does with Powerhouse Animation here in Texas. And
he did a great cover right there.
Yeah, he did it right there. Yeah, it was really cool, and it was an honor just to have him, because he's super busy. So just to get him to get us some artwork for that was awesome. And then we just wanted to offer people some fun things like that. I did about 3 of those covers. I'm the main artist on the book. I did originally color it, but then we ended up going with another artist who I absolutely loved his colors, Sky Wynn. He's amazing. He brought the pages to life. We wanted to give everyone quality artwork through and through. And so we thought, hey, let's get Jeff Denoy or Sky Wynn to do that. And we had hired, oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. She did the flats for us. She's right there. Yes, thank you. I knew that, but she did the flats for us. So this was all a learning experience for me in that respect, but based on the experience that both my friend Jesse and Joe had done with the book. So it's again, it's something we're really proud of. And when you look at it, it's basically a rom-com action book is what this is. It's going to be a fun book. You're going to see some great action. And I love the action scenes in it, because I just get to cut loose and basically let this can I cuss a little bit? I don't know if I can cuss.
Yeah,
You
go ahead.
get to see Ava, who's the main character in this, basically kick some ass, Bigfoot or different monsters. So you'll see a little bit of that, and you saw a little bit of that in the number 0 as well. So that was one of the things that I was like really just I wanted that in this book more than anything. So we really made it a part of that with this story.
Reading.
I wanted to ask, what is it about the Bigfoot?
I just love Bigfoot. And he's everywhere. I've worked on other books with other people as far as like fan art and just I don't know. It's fun. It's mysterious. I'm not even kidding. I just recently bought a birdhouse that is Bigfoot, and it's like his stomach is open and the birds go in. It's just crazy. I don't know. I find it fascinating. Aliens, Bigfoot, cryptids, Loch Ness monster, ghost stories, all that stuff. I believe in ghosts and all that. So I want to do house like hunting stuff where we go looking for ghosts and stuff, but nobody wants to go with me. I don't know why.
I'll go.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Most people are just like, no, it'll attach to you. You'll bring it home, and I'm like, yeah, that's in the movies. Let's just go. But yeah, so that's really what I wanted to.
The reason it's in the movies because that's what people experienced. I'm not playing with no ghosts, man. Y'all, hey man, y'all have fun with that.
I think it's fascinating. But yeah, so you'll see a lot of that. The Wendigo. A big influence was actually. I want to say it was 2013, maybe 2017, probably in between. Sleepy Hollow. I loved my favorite cryptid, if you want to call it that, is the Headless Horseman. I absolutely love the Headless Horseman. All-time favorite. I have statues and toys of that everywhere throughout my house. And when that series came out, I was watching it, and if you've ever seen it, it's kind of a Monster of the Week, kind of Scooby-Doo, where you had it wasn't just the Headless Horseman, but it was a great introduction to the show. Why is this happening? And not to spoil anything, but basically he brings these monsters of legend out, and they end up fighting these creatures every week, something new, something different. And I really like that idea. And I was like, this is something that we could introduce to the story. And we needed an origin. Like, why is this character, doing this? And how is she doing it? Where is she getting these abilities or whatever? And it just kind of all fell in line. For the years, we slowly kind of like just cooked the idea. And it just clicked one day. Everything just kind of like we turned it upside down, flipped it over, all that, and it just clicked one day. We're like, well, what if we make the bad guy the focus of the story? Because originally this was a book about Joe, the character that is her love interest in this. And then just one day we were like, Joe was like, well, what if we turn it on its head and make her the focus? And then I was like, okay, well, what if we also did this? And so it just all kind of like came together, it melded, and it just formed. And then 2020 hit, and we just it was ready. It was baked. It was like in the oven. It was good to go, and we just went with it. And we're like, let's do this. And so yeah, there's a lot of influence in it that along with Bigfoot. And I figured, who else for her to fight first than Bigfoot? You got to take on the champ first, and that's Bigfoot. He's probably the most well known, I think, of cryptids.
I'll say that was my favorite part of reading the number 0 is like figuring out how you got to the title, because it did not start off how to hunt a hero. Like the story started with the villain, Ava. She's introducing herself. She's saying, her background and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? This does not have to. Then she's like, I started hunting the cryptids because I was so good at I could make anything I wanted. I started hunting the cryptids, and I was like, I still don't see how you get to how to hunt a hero.
Right.
And then you introduced Joe, and it all came together. So that was my favorite part of reading it. Like that's all coming together for me.
Yeah, and that's when, like I said, it originally was called Average Joe. It was about Joe and his two friends, his best friends, Pete and Jerry. And then, like I said, Joe just one day he was like, we felt like the idea had been done. Back when we wrote it, though, it was kind of semi-fresh idea. It was still relevant. But then, 20 years later, we're like, man, that's been done to death. How can we still do this whole idea of a first superhero, but make it, something new? What's our twist? What's our angle on this? And then it just, like I said, we flipped it on its head, and we were like, well, and that's the funny thing is, Ava was actually just she was supposed to be like a one-time shot, like one-shot guest. Came in, played like a love interest of his, well, she was in love with him, and then she was gone. Like we never even touched it again. And then, we were like, well, wait. We went back and we looked at all the artwork, we're looking at all the sketches, and it just, like I said, I don't know what happened, but Joe just said, hey, well, why don't we flip it? And then that's where we went with that. And the idea is she's basically like Bruce Wayne, intelligence, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man money, kind of like that. That's her, I guess, if you want to think of it like that, that's kind of who she is, but she's evil. She's like, what if we had somebody with that money, that technology, but that chose to be evil, and then this is what she did with it. And so she just starts, because in our world there are no superheroes in our universe. The only characters that have what you would consider maybe even superpowers are cryptids, are monsters. And so it just kind of like made sense slowly, piece by piece. And so eventually the idea of the title is she hunts basically all the monsters that she can find. They're all captured. She has them all now, and she decides to take their powers, their superpowers, and she gives them to our character Joe without his knowledge or consent, and creates our universe's first superhero. And then the hunt begins.
Okay.
And his weakness is his current girlfriend, and I like that. I like
Yeah.
that is the current girlfriend, who looks a lot like when I first saw that character, I thought of what's her name, Amy Jo Johnson, the pink
From Power Rangers.
the Pink Ranger. I was like,
see that.
just like Amy Jo Johnson. But yeah, man, I great concept. I'm glad. Even though it took y'all a while to get around to that, I'm glad that you did, because it's fresh. And I hope, Ava's. I even though Ava's definitely the bad guy, even though she's definitely the antagonist. Reading that Zero issue, I kind of got attached to her, and I'm hoping, maybe she can be redeemed somehow. I don't know. I doubt it, but I hopefully we'll see.
Yeah, and that they say write what you love, do what you love, that kind of thing. And the great thing about Ava's character is that, like, we know Joe, we know Pete, we know Jerry. Like, they're actually based. Joe is actually an amalgamation of me and Joe. It's like kind of like, what would we do in these situations? And again, it's just the way we write. Like, what would you do if this happened? And this is what I would do. And so we blend it. So that's Joe. And then Pete and Jerry are based on two of our really good friends from high school, and one of them who's no longer with us, but is actually, that character of Jerry is in almost every single book that we do. He's in every story because he was a part of our circle of friends in high school. But then for Ava, it was like, well, it's kind of strange because we wanted somebody that we understood, that we would like, and creating or writing a villain is so much fun. It's so much more fun than doing the good guy, as I've learned as we've been doing this. And her whole thing is she's like us. She's a geek, she's a nerd. She loves comic books. She loves the movies. So what we wanted to do for her is every time she creates a new armored suit, right? Because there'll be different ones for different creatures she has to fight. Just like the toys, or like Iron Man, when we were growing up, you saw or Batman, you saw underwater Batman, or city flying, whatever. They did that thing. We kind of incorporated that. So you'll see a lot of the designs she has for her suits are actually nods to the stuff that we grew up loving. They're little Easter eggs, little things like her main suit that we've kind of introduced in this first one, the Wraith suit, we call it. It's kind of a Darth Vader meets like Shredder kind of. You'll see little things, little nods that we put in there, and that's intentional. Like, we're not trying to rip anything off. We just, as I create the suits, I'm just like, oh, this would be kind of cool if she had this, and if she did this. And so,
I'm sorry, I'm a horrible host. I have images you sent me that I could be posting of this as you're describing it.
Yeah. But and this one, for instance, if you look closely at this right there, right in the center of her, I guess of her neck guard, if you will, you'll see the Superman diamond. So right there, we even put stuff like that. It's small, but you'll see that in every single armor she wears. I'm putting in little nods to these. That's just the stuff that we love. So we get to have fun in that respect. And then this cover here that I did was actually based on a Superman statue. And I wish I was supposed to look this up so I could give credit to the sculptor and everything. But this was a piece that they had done for Superman, where he's got his Rose Gallery fighting him. And I was just like, man, that is so good. So I just started drawing, and then it just put in our spin on it, if you will, our little nod to that too.
So what you're saying is that she actually stands for hope.
Sure. Sure.
Not at all.
No. Hey, I figured I'd just throw it in there, you know.
A redemption story would be interesting though, but I think I want to have more fun with her before we get to that point. It'd be interesting. I don't know how we could redeem her, but we will definitely have fun, and hopefully all the readers will enjoy it as well.
So with this issue 1 being funded already in Kickstarter, what can we expect with issue 2, and when can we expect that?
Well, now that I've seen that this book, and that was the big thing. So again, this was my first one. So, the nerves going into this, and kind of along with this subject, I will say one of the biggest things that I get asked, or the things I get asked the most at conventions, is how did you just start? Like, how did you start? What did you do? And honestly, a lot of it is just getting that confidence to do it, to believe that you can do it, and and obviously having the story done, but with that, we were like, okay, well, let's see how how it goes. If people, are interested in this book, if we can get an audience, if we can get something going, and seeing that we already have, like I said, we've been working on this for 20 years. We have so much material on this that we could probably just keep going and going. So basically, the honest answer is, as long as people keep backing it, we'll keep making more issues because it's what we enjoy doing. So since I'm doing all the artwork for it, I think for this one, I do about 4 pages a month, probably, because I have a regular 9 to 5 job. Well, technically I work 12 hours a day, and then I work on this. And so it's really up to how fast I can get the stuff done. And so I'm getting quicker, but it does take time. So, but I would say within, we could probably do another one within about 4 or 5 months, something like that. But the stories are done. Like, a lot of this stuff is already done. It's just finding the time to actually draw the stuff out and put it out. But I mean, if people want more, I am ready to go. I am happy to do it.
You hear that, kids? It takes us artists time to draw. This man's busting out a couple pages a week. He's doing his best. Give him his time.
Yeah. And I hope the demand is there, because that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, it's a dream of ours. We actually were asked to put some of our books into a comic book shop, which was I never thought that was ever going to be a thing. And I don't know how most people feel about that, about brick and mortar.
I love brick and mortar here, right?
I like tactile. I like having an actual book in my hands, or I can read through it, the smell of it, whatever. But that was a huge honor. Like, when they asked us, we were so happy. We actually went down, took our families, and hey, look, our book's on the shelf or whatever. And that was really neat. And honestly, for me, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to say, hey, I've got a book on the shelf at a comic book shop. You can actually go to a comic book shop and see it. And this is something that we did, that we put our passion into all these years, all our sweat and tears, all that stuff. We put it into it, and there's an audience. People like it. And that's the other thing. I'll tell people, there's always an audience for something. You'll always be surprised. For the most part that I've seen, there's so much talent out there at these conventions, and the people that we've talked to just putting out so much great material. And I'll be honest, I enjoy a lot of the indie books more than I do the Marvel or DC. There's a lot of really good ideas and a lot of talent out there, and people just working together and making these collaborations. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
Absolutely. I love it, man. All right, so we got to get to my favorite part of the show now. All right, we're gonna do quick takes, man. Kyron, whenever you're ready.
I just realized this video is going to look stupid, so whatever.
Quick takes.
This is why you should say no. You should just say no, Kyron. No, that's not a good idea. And this is your show. Anyways,
it's not my show.
Anyways,
it's not my show.
If you've never seen Quick Takes before, Quick Takes is a rapid Q&A session where we grill our guests on their deepest, darkest secrets from the internet. All right. So I did a deep dive on your social media, and these are just some questions to help our audience get to know you a little bit better. Okay. You're going to have 45 seconds for each question. I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and then the last one is going to be a top 5 list. Okay, so most importantly, Superman. You saw it. I saw it. Kyron did not. So in 45 seconds, I want you to give us a non-spoiler review for the latest Superman movie.
Okay. When do I start? When it starts counting?
Yep.
Okay.
Start now.
So I will say this right off the bat. This is a great popcorn movie. If you like Superman, if you want to see something fresh, go watch Superman. You'll enjoy it. This is not your Zack Snyder. This is not your Christopher Reeve, although people have said it kind of reminds them of that. But it's just a great, fun movie for the family, and even for diehard Superman fans. You'll get a little bit of both. And you just get to see Superman do what he does. I think he's a little more human in this movie. But the action scenes are great. The supporting cast is great. The whole movie cast is amazing. And then the chemistry between Lois and Superman is perfect.
Agreed. I agree with all that. I'd say
Me too.
the only thing I would add, I would say, if you liked Guardians of the Galaxy, you will like this movie. It is very similar in tone, and
James Gunn, yeah.
James Gunn definitely did his thing with this one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree wholeheartedly with everything you guys said.
You haven't seen the movie. You don't know.
I just want to be part of the group. Okay, leave me alone.
Okay. Okay. All right. So question number 2. So you already spoke on this a little bit, but as an artist who is inspired by great works that we've seen, I want you to give us some of your design lessons that you've taken from things like Star Wars. I know you're a big Star Wars fan, and like we said, the design for that latest suit for Ava kind of had some Stormtrooper in it or some Darth Vader in it. So give us some character design lessons from Star Wars.
Okay. Well, character designs for Star Wars, or just
lessons that you've learned from Star Wars and other.
Gotcha. Okay, so definitely heavily influenced. The Empire has some of the best designs, the Stormtroopers especially. I love armor designs in general. Doug Chiang from Star Wars that did all the stuff for Episode 1 is one of my idols. So I look to his stuff, to his works when I want to get inspired to draw stuff. And then the other part of it is just having fun and learning from George Lucas. Hey, George Lucas, love him or hate him, this is his world and this is what he did. And he will not listen to anyone else when it comes to what he loves. And I take that with heart. I'm like, yeah, do it. And that's what we do with this book.
Who could hate George Lucas? I've never heard anybody say that. No, I have actually, and it's ridiculous. But yeah. Okay, so awesome. All right, so now this third question is going to tell you how far I went back on your social media. Okay. Back in 2018.
Oh boy.
You visited a place in Washington, D.C., the Lincoln Memorial.
Yes.
And you posted about, being in awe of it and how you never thought you would see this place and, how it made you feel being there. I want to know, since 2018, what are some other things that made you feel similar to the way you felt when you first went to the Lincoln Memorial?
Oh, well, so that for me is a little, that was deeply personal for me because my dad, my brother, and my grandfather are all either in the military currently or veterans. So that was a very special thing. There's nothing else that really compares to that. However, on some of the trips that I have taken, I've gone to Norway, I've gone to Switzerland, I've gone to, a bunch of different places for holiday or vacation. But one standout for me is I finally got to go to Sleepy Hollow and visit Washington Irving's grave and just see the town. The whole town has embraced the lore of the Headless Horseman. Their high school mascot is the Headless Horseman. Their fire engines are black and orange, so is there all their other stuff. It's amazing. So as far as something that affected me like that, maybe not on that scale, but definitely an influence, the Sleepy Hollow.
That show really did just do something for you, didn't it?
Oh, it goes beyond that. It was a Disney cartoon that just hooked me. Ever since, I live and breathe Sleepy Hollow.
I'm booking me a trip.
Yep.
Oh, this is in New York?
Yeah, it's basically you get on Grand Central, or you go up Grand Central Station about I want to say it's like 45 minutes to an hour up the Hudson River, and it literally drops you off at Sleepy Hollow. The cemetery is amazing.
I've never heard anybody say that.
Oh, it's
Cemetery.
beautiful. Historically, it's got the Rockefellers and all the big names that are there, but it is one of the most beautiful cemeteries you'll ever see.
Hey, all right, I love it. All right, so question number 4, and this is a question that we ask a lot of indie creators. I want to know in 45 seconds, what do you see as the future for indie comics? Like, could it be? It could be a technology. It could be, direct market. What do you see, as the future for indie comics?
Okay. Well, I think it's kind of neat now, especially as I'm learning more about it, how it's getting in. It's getting into the comic book shop, into the mainstream. So I can definitely see it going that way. But what I love most about it, honestly, is what I mentioned earlier, is just the community and the way everybody kind of contributes to help each other out, to realize their dreams. But as far as like a future for it, I think it's strong. I think there's so much potential for it. I see even my friend, like the one that works on Team Strike, is doing one called Chancla right now. That I swear is going to be a show or a movie, and it's barely in like its infancy right now, but it's so good. And that's what I see when I meet other people with your new project. Everyone that's worked on this book, it's sky's the limit.
I love it. I love it. I would love to. One big thing about the direct market to me, man, I've always like had an apprehension about, going into comic book stores because I feel like you have to have, a big name to sell properly in comic book stores. So, but now with the internet, man, thankfully, you can get the word out to people all over the place. So
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like now, I was really surprised they do consignments now, where they'll, either they ask you to,
yeah,
if you want your books to be there, or you can ask them, and they'll be like, yeah, we have a wall just of indie books, which is awesome. Now I've seen that more than I remember. Like 5 years ago, I would go into a bookstore and be like, hey, I want to do a comic book. How do I do it? And they're like, well, like you said, you have to have a big name and, all this stuff. You've got to be established, this and that. No, they're really open to it now.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, so number 5, and actually, I don't even know if we actually have a show called Top 5 Live anymore. Honestly, um,
Whoa. Wow. What?
this might be breaking news, but
Yeah.
y'all noticed that there haven't been any episodes of Top 5 Live. My man Morgan Iverson decided to take a sabbatical, and the rest of us, have not quite been in the spirit to make to do a show. So, but in the spirit of Top 5, I'm gonna ask you to do a top 5 list, anyways, for the 5th question. So, for you, I want to know, and you said that you believe in ghosts and all
Yeah.
this stuff. So I want to know the top 5 cryptids that you believe actually exist. The definition, because the definition of a cryptid is an animal or a creature that has not been confirmed to exist.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know your top 5. Of course,
Okay.
you're gonna say Bigfoot is the number 1, I think,
Oh, yeah.
or Sleepy Hollow. You're gonna say Sleepy Hollow is number 1, maybe, I don't know, but um, I want to know your top 5 cryptids that you believe exist.
Okay. So first one, obviously, yeah, Headless Horseman. I'm going to go with that one just because the Doolahans have actually existed throughout many, many cultures for thousands of years. That's a Headless Horseman, a Doolahan. Then obviously Bigfoot, because yeah, it's real. And then the Mothman. I believe that it's truly a thing. So many witnesses, the whole town just based on that. Loch Ness Monster is one of my favorite. Like, it's one of my obsessions. I love any kind of spotting of the Loch Ness Monster or whatever. I think there's something magical about a dinosaur living in our time. Would be really cool. And then the Jersey Devil was probably one of those that has I think, a big enough following that I believe there's something out there in the woods.
I love it. I love it. I would have went with the I think the Chupacabra is
Chupacabra, yeah.
considered
It's a hairless dog. It's not as cool as a Mothman, but yeah, I mean,
hey, it sounds scary though to me.
yeah, it's,
Um,
it's a Chihuahua. Yeah,
it's a Chihuahua, yeah, pretty much. Thank you for doing that for us, man.
that was fun.
This week, Quick Takes is sponsored by Gemini Comic Supply. Go to GeminiComicSupply.com and use the promo code AcePlay to get 10% off your entire order. Back to you, Kyrie.
Thank you for that. And you know what? While you guys are doing quick takes, I put this together. So we're gonna check it out. All right, so it is messed up. But I did that in like 5 minutes, so I can't. You can't say I
Hey,
did too good.
it works. It works.
I
I love it. Great job, man.
Thank you.
Proud
Thank
of
you.
That would take me 5 days to do.
All right, Roy, we appreciate you being on. We want to make sure our audience follows you and keeps up with your work. So, where are the best places online for people to keep up with you?
My Instagram is probably the best as far as personally. That's art_by_rogo. And then as far as the book, you can either go to the link in my bio for the Kickstarter, or you can go to www.howtohuntahero.com. It'll take you to the same place. Once the campaign ends, we're going to use that website for future sales, and as well as our other books that we have out. So, yeah, those are the two big ones.
Okay. All right. Danny, where can people check you out? I think you could go to fourthwallpros.com or fourth wall pros on basically all social media platforms. You can also check him out at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms.
I got distracted because I have this conspiracy theory that we live in a simulation, but sometimes like stuff like this happens and it makes me believe that life is real, because I just followed Roy on Instagram and I heard his phone vibrate and I was like, there's no computer in the world strong enough. There's no computer strong enough to be able to make that happen. So people, life has to be real. And that just completely threw me off.
Awesome.
But yes, at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Kyron, where can people find you, man?
So birds aren't real. They're just drones.
The dinosaurs.
You can follow me at tauruscomics.com. I am at all social media platforms at Taurus Comics. And if this is the first time you ever checked out our podcast, you can go to our website. That is fourtailspodcast.com. That is number 4, TALES podcast.com. You can listen to our previous episodes. You can buy merchandise. You can support us by buying us coffees, whatever they normally do at websites. You can do that there. But join us next week where we're going to have Sarah White on the show talking about her cat. I was going to use another term, but I figured maybe I should make that PG. And then, apparently, because Sarah's in the chat saying, but what about StarCorps? We can talk about StarCorps because I'm almost done with the script for issue 2. So we'll talk about StarCorps there. But join us next Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for then. Until then, though, everybody, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves. And I'm sorry this video is going to look crappy because it's not for portrait mode, but hey, love you guys.
Yes.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.